Thank you very much, Benny. Yes, please take it away.
Well, as being a guest here in Hong Kong and not knowing the things so good here within society and the environment here, it's always a little bit hard to give you kind of advice and so on. It could be misunderstood, please. But I think looking back to the history in Germany, it's very, very important to be tough for years and years and years. So our processes started in the 1970s, and I think the very most important first step is transparency. So bringing transparency in the amount of electric power which is needed for each dwelling, for each building, and a very good instrument for this, I think, are the housing passes, which are mandatory in Germany from a certain large of the building, and it's mandatory legislation in our energy saving ordinance. And this could be also a very good first step, and I know kind of it is always taken into force in Hong Kong now very shortly, and I think this is a very good step. And at least I think it's not possible to gain progress without kind of mandatory legislation. Of course, these needs, let's say, brave political decisions sometimes. And secondly, you cannot rule against the population. It's not possible. So this is only one level of action. The others must be, as it was said here out clearly, information, education. Beginning at the schools, at the universities, and maybe daily in newspapers anywhere. It's very important to give clear information on these ecological things to the population. And the third is, in Germany, it's very important to combine this with financial incentives. It's not necessary to put huge amounts of money in the hand, but you need to give a certain percentage of public financial incentives, and this works very well in Germany. And you can make not only double, but make it 10 times of investment. Give, let's say, 100 euro, and at least 1,000 euro will be spent on special investments on better housing. So this will be my first statement. Thanks.
Secretary Wong.
Okay, I share the approach about transparency. That's very important. Not only energy, but also about the green building performance. When I was with the Hong Kong Green Building Council, we proposed that for all the certified green building under BIM Plus, somehow the result, whether it's on the provisional stage or for the final stage, the results should be available to all, okay, on website, and also to be transparent to all. So I think that message is very clear, that if we'd like to transform the market, information, transparencies are the key. Hong Kong just having the mandatory building energy code in place since last month. That would be a good tool for us to collect more data, and so that we can pave the way to go for the approach as mentioned by Benny. Okay, but more than that, I would like to share more about my thought about the green building policy. As mentioned earlier in Hong Kong, that in Hong Kong we are having at least 3 bureaus covering different aspects of green building. The housing and transport, some friends here, they are doing on public housing. The Development Bureau covering building and the certain regulations and incentives about green building, because they control the building sector. My bureau would more on the energy policy from supply side, climate change, and also giving incentive to retrofit existing buildings. So somehow they are in different under different heads. So I think we have to learn how to be more effective in terms of the government structure and policy to push all these. It's again about efficiency. So one way is that we can have the new policy that one bureau, maybe my bureau, okay, given my interest, that we can somehow better coordinate all these so that we can have all these in better synergy and better efficiency. For energy, it's not only about new buildings, it's relatively easier for us to tackle because those are new developments with certain financial incentive or other policy support that we can push it through. Certainly, we can also upgrade our buildings regulations because, as criticized by many architects and engineers, that our regulations may be somehow dated and may not be conducive to smart and green building design. So all this could be addressed if we have a more consolidated policy arrangement. And also, existing buildings are the major building stock in Hong Kong, similar to other mature countries or cities that the existing buildings are the biggest energy consumer. So in the past, we have a kind of matching fund to upgrade the existing building stock. I guess there were very good response. About 1 out of 7 buildings in Hong Kong got our funding and improved it. So it's quite a significant scheme. But now we get to the mandatory building energy code stage, so we shift from the incentive mode to a mandatory mode. So that's question number 1. Question number 2 that I may start first, okay, is that Hong Kong is quite different from other countries or cities that we are compact and small. And for Hong Kong Island, I think Mr. Lau can feel the traffic congestion, even though we have all the initiatives. But the good news is that we are seeing more MTR9 on the Hong Kong Island side to the west and also to the south. And we have the Central Wan Chai bypass to be completed by 2017 and the MTR by 15. So we are having a new infrastructure for the island side. So that will give us more opportunity to rethink critically what should be the commuting modes in Hong Kong island side. We can improve walkability in Hong Kong, quite different from other countries or cities, that we can make Hong Kong more walkable and livable. Okay, so we should, I would advocate a kind of really a critical, innovative review on the future commuting strategy for the Hong Kong island side in particular, given the new infrastructures to be in place in a few years' time. And certainly we can also address the vehicle issue because those are the really direct emitters. So as mentioned earlier, we would like to have Central and Causeway Bay to be a kind of no emission zone. So only the clean buses can go through those areas. So we can improve the air quality in those congested locations. Would like to cover the transport air quality? Okay, so let me go on. In terms of the technology, okay, the slug treatment plant is one new technology to be in place in Hong Kong very soon. By end of this year, that will be the kind of large-scale waste-to-energy plant that can help us to treat the solid waste at the same time provide a kind of urban renewable energy for Hong Kong. We may have other technologies. In Hong Kong, we talk about the first large-scale incinerator somewhere near Lantau or Changzhou. Controversial, okay. Now in kind of JR kind of legal appeal process posted by some people. So we are not going to talk about it at this stage, okay? But we do encourage different technology. Say for food waste, we are going to have the first, we call the OWTF, the Organic Waste Treatment Facility in Hong Kong, that would treat about 300 tons of food waste on a daily basis, also turn the food waste into energy. So those are the new technologies that if there are reference from other countries, then we are very eager to see how those could be applied in Hong Kong's context. So we are really keen about technologies, not only for small-scale implementation in different estates, but also a large-scale centralized one in Hong Kong. My last point is about the education. It's very important. I know that there are some people from universities in Hong Kong, right? Where's Anna? Okay. Actually, we are over there. We are actually talking to the universities in Hong Kong. We have 8 major universities in Hong Kong, trying to persuade them to be really the leaders in Hong Kong on all this kind of green practices. Frankly, I can tell you that the response are not as good as I expect. Yeah. But the point is that in other countries, on all this transformation, it will take quite some time to get to certain result. And Hong Kong, my feeling is that certainly there are a lot of people that are somehow converted, that is having a green mind, but many people are still feel very comfortable in terms of their current living or the business as usual, that they don't feel the environmental challenges in terms of energy, climate change, or food or air quality. So how to really educate them and have kind of quicker change. So I would like to learn more from Germany.
Just want to make clear, of course, it's very important what the Secretary said, the questions of waste, reducing and things, but I have to confess I'm not a real specialist on this, but I can tell you this is very well educated and regulated in Germany. We have a philosophy of waste reduction and both of waste separation. So Germany is more or less world famous for different waste containers. So we have blue ones for paper waste, we have green ones for footrests and things, and we have yellow ones for plastic and all the things. And it's sometimes even made by, ironically, you can laugh at this a little bit, but it's very important. And I know we had a contest for young school children of Europe, and they were asked, it was in France and in England, and they were asked to draw up something very special for Germany. And many of them put our waste facility boxes, green, blue, green. So of course this is a very, very important thing. And also to the transportation field, of course, this idea with energy plus house plus mobility, this is a very it's what lies nearer that to seek ways to combine these two sectors or even more sectors and to use energy produced by PVs for the transportation, especially for public transportation. I think for a city like Hong Kong it would be obviously very, very important to use electric or some new transportation means for buses, new machines, and I think so I agree totally with you. Maybe last comment, you started with the different bureaus. Of course, this is the same in every government. So this is clear. We have different ministries, Ministry for Environment, for our ministry, and Ministry for the Economy, and each one has a special side of things, and they have the job to push special ideas for special communities, of course, of the society. But what you mentioned is very, very important. At least you have to take combined action by the government. So, of course, this is always the aim, and usually we gain it sooner or later in every important topic also, to come to one compromise, one combined action between all the ministries. This is absolutely necessary.
Well, thank you for all the perfect response.
Yeah, thank you very much for those insights. Now, I'm sure I'm going to open the floor now to questions. We have people with microphones so that we can hear you. We're recording this on video, and the video of this whole day will be available on our website. So we'll be that. We'll take a question from the back with Ewan over there. Please start. And then I see your hands going up. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. So many questions. All right, let's go.
I'm MK Leung. I'm an architect. In fact, I have 2 questions to learn from Germany experience. First one about the DGNB. Is it a private initiative, and how does it dovetail or integrate with the legislations or the financial support scheme you mentioned? This is the first question. Second question is, how do you look at actual and design performance? When you give the energy certificate, is it only valid for a certain year, or has it to be renewed every year? Or for the DGNB scheme, if you get a certain rating, does it need to be renewed for every certain years as well? Thank you.
May I ask you a question? Are you attending the whole day this afternoon also?
I would love to if I do not get an urgent call.
No, the reason why I'm asking you is can make it short in a moment, because this will be a topic in the afternoon, and we have Mr. Boda, colleague here, maybe you stand up to thanks, and he's an architect working in China and working with the DGNB level. But to make a short answer, yes, it's a private organization, but the sources came from research from our ministry at least, and it was a combined action. We had working groups together, the ministry and the DGNB, and we worked up the system, especially for administration houses. So we are not going in the fields of other private buildings, but we stick on governmental buildings. And all the other detailed questions, I think Mr. Boda is able to say in the afternoon. Thanks.
Mei Ling, do you have a question?
From Friends of the Earth, Mei Ling Chen. Thank you so much, Dr. Rudinger and KS, for the presentation. Very, very good. I have one question to KS. If also Dr. Rudinger would like to add, it would be perfect. We talk about education and public engagement. I found public engagement is a very interesting trend to mention to KS, is that if you look at the housing authority, recently the engineer talked to me and said that a lot of people in the housing estate, actually in housing estate we have like 1/3 of population in Hong Kong living there. Is that they want to know how much electricity use they spend, they could save. How can they know? How can each individual want to know, I want to save and I will get better, and how can I compare with the other person? So the engineer from housing is saying that we would like to actually put a panel at the lift of the lobby of housing of each building, and looking at each building, how much energy, electricity is spent, and then take an average. And then we can look at this, will kind of like encourage people to know and then to ask. And also, when I know, I also can ask my property management manager why our building is actually spend more than the others when we have more or less the same setup and same construction. So I just wonder if housing authority and EPD, and of course when we talk about transfer, if we can actually work together, how much we can progress on the issue of energy saving and efficiency. Maybe KS can talk about if that is feasible for housing estate, which have no actually mandate on environmental protection, but their staff would like to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mei Ling. Benny just told me a story about his office earlier. That Benny's office is an architectural practice, the biggest in Hong Kong. But they occupy 3 floors in the deluxe office buildings. They have the divided metering, right, in a way for each floor, and measure it and compete and disclose the energy use per month for different floors. The floors are almost identical, right? And I suppose the numbers of people are pretty the same. Surprisingly, the power consumption in terms of difference could be up to 1/4, 25%. Same space, similar layout, different people, okay, different result.
Different behavior.
So again, back to the first questions about the information and transparencies are important for us, for the public to understand and benchmark and compare and then make changes. I don't have a simple answer to your questions, but I hope that if my wish could be crystallized,